for tomato, T for tomato. U for umbrella, U for umbrella, U for umbrella. V for van, V for van, V for van. W for watch, W for watch, W for watch. X for X-ray, X for X-ray, X for X-ray. Y for yak, Y for yak, Y for yak. Z for zebra, Z for zebra, Z for zebra.
Phonics song. A for apple, A for ant. Ant. B for ball, B for bat. Bat. C for cat, C for cookie. Cookie. D for doll, D for dress. Dress. E for elephant, E for envelope. Envelope. F for fan, F for frog. Frog. G for goat, G for grass. Grass. H for hammer, H for house. House. I for ink, I for igloo. Igloo. J for jug, J for juice. Juice. K for king, K for kite. Kite. L for lion, L for ladybug. Ladybug. M for moon, M for mountain. Mountain. N for nut, N for net. Net. O for owl, O for octopus. Octopus. P for pear, P for parrot. Parrot. Q for queen, Q for quill. Quill. R for rope, R for rat. Rat. S for sunflower, S for sun. Sun. T for tap, T for tub. Tub. U for uncle, U for umbrella. vegetable. Vegetable. W for well. W for water. Water. X for x-ray. X for box. Box. Y for yarn. Y for yellow. Yellow. Z for zoo. Z for zebra. Zebra. A for apple, A for ant. B for bat, B for ball. C for cat, C for cow. D for dog, D for dogs. E for egg, E for elephant. F for frog, F for fish. G for goat, G for grass. H for hen, H for horse. I for ink, I for igloo. J for joker, J for jug. K for kite, K for king. L for lion, L for lamb. La. M for mango, M for monkey. Ma. N for nest, N for nose. Na. O for orange, O for ostrich. P for papaya, P for parrot. Q for queen, Q for quail. R for rat, R for rabbit. Ra. S for sun, S for snake. T for tiger, T for tomato. U for uncle, U for umbrella. U. V for violin, V for van. W for well, W for watch. X for Xmas tree, X for xylophone. X. Y for yacht, Y for yak. Yeah. Z for zoo, Z for zebra. Z.